Are Kyle and Mauricio divorced? Alexia Umansky shares family update. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky are still learning how to navigate their relationship amid their divorce news and separation after 27 years of marriage. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member currently lives apart from her estranged husband, but does frequently reunite with him, especially when it's around their daughters. Kyle's daughter, Alexia Umansky, recently took to her TikTok account, where she posted a video showing off a recent reunion with her parents and her siblings. In the video, Kyle can be seen wearing pajamas, lying on top of several pillows and blankets on the floor, next to her youngest daughter, Portia Umansky, while Alexia remained wrapped in a blanket on the floor next to them. Alexia then panned up to show that her dad was on the couch next to her fiancé, Jake Zingerman, while her younger sister, Sophia Umansky, sat on the couch next to them. Portia can be seen sweetly kissing Kyle's head in the video, while Mauricio and Jake looked so cozy, sleeping on the couch adjacent to one another. She then revealed in the caption of the post that Kyle was the driving force behind their family reunion. "Mom, do you want to come over and watch a movie?" Alexia wrote over the video. "Us, say no more." Kyle Richards shares how her family was able to move forward amid relationship ups and downs. Although Kyle and Mauricio might go through tough times together as a family, they are always able to move forward. During the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show, Kyle revealed how her daughters reacted to seeing photos of Mauricio kissing another woman in an airport, which was discussed during RHOB Season 14, Episode 13. "I know it's weird for them," she noted. "They've only seen their mother and father together. That's strange for them. That doesn't feel good to them. They, of course, were upset by seeing that picture. Of course they were. Sometimes they get more upset even than I do." But she revealed that they were able to emerge even stronger as a family after having tough conversations about the pictures. "It's another reminder that we need to move forward," she added. "We need to do something and make decisions now." Kyle Richards admits co-parenting with Mauricio Umansky can be hard. While it's clear from Alexia's latest update that Kyle and Mauricio can hang out with each other and their children in such a chill way, they are still figuring out their dynamic. During the RHOBH after show, Kyle admitted that co-parenting with Mauricio can be hard, especially when she wants to be annoyed with him, but they have to remain civil for their daughters. "It's hard sometimes going through this," she said. "I've been a mom for what feels like my whole life since I'm 19 years old, and everything has been about doing everything for everyone else." The thread that binds. Kyle Richards sat cross-legged on the floor of her living room, a fortress of pillows and blankets forming a cozy cocoon around her. The smell of popcorn wafted through the air, mixing with the subtle scent of lavender from the candles she had lit earlier. It was a family movie night, something she had fought to keep alive through all the changes. Her daughters, Portia and Sophia, were snuggled close, the former sweetly kissing her mother's head, as if to remind her of a time when everything felt easy. Alexia, her oldest daughter, lay beside her, wrapped tightly in a blanket as the evening unfurled in what felt like an oasis of normalcy. Her gaze shifted to the couch. There, her estranged husband, Mauricio, sat next to Jake Zingerman, Alexia's fiancé. Both appeared relaxed, a stark contrast to the storm brewing in the background of their personal lives. She couldn't help but notice how they looked so comfortable, their easy camaraderie almost unnerving. Yet there was a bond that ran deeper than any separation or unspoken tension between her and Mauricio. "Mom," Alexia's voice pierced the moment. "Do you want to come over and watch a movie?" The question, casual yet filled with a deeper significance, hung in the air for a beat. Kyle had always been the one to keep the family together, the one who brought everyone into the fold when things felt frayed at the edges. "Say no more," Alexia added, her voice laced with affection and perhaps a hint of nostalgia for the family dynamics of old. It was in that moment that Kyle realized this wasn't just a family gathering. This was something much deeper, a reassertion of the thread that still bound them, despite everything. It had been almost a year since the rumors had first started circulating. The divorce, the separation, the quiet whispers that seemed to echo louder with each passing day. Kyle and Mauricio's relationship had always been a subject of public fascination. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had given them a platform to showcase their lives, their ups and downs, their lavish lifestyle, and their struggles, all laid bare for the world to see. But none of that had prepared them for the storm that would hit when Mauricio was photographed kissing another woman in an airport. The picture was everywhere, on tabloids, social media, in headlines screaming for attention. And with it, the narrative of their marriage crumbled. Kyle's heart had fractured into 1,000 pieces, but not just because of the infidelity. No, it was the ripple effect on their children, their lives, their family. In an intimate moment during the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show, Kyle had opened up about the ordeal, revealing just how painful it had been for their daughters, especially Alexia. "I know it's weird for them," she had said, her voice soft but firm. "They've only ever seen their mother and father together. That's strange for them. It doesn't feel good to them. They were upset. Of course they were. Sometimes they get more upset even than I do." And it wasn't just the hurt that came from seeing that picture. It was the reality of watching the family they once knew, the family that had always been solid, begin to splinter. But what was perhaps most surprising was how Kyle, in the midst of it all, managed to cling to a sense of hope, to the belief that they could still move forward, together. The family reunion that Alexia had shared on TikTok was proof of that. It was a moment of tenderness amid the chaos. Kyle had orchestrated it, as she often did, because that was who she was, the glue. Even though she and Mauricio had their differences, their ability to reunite, even in the smallest of ways, was a testament to the bond they still shared. Kyle had always been the nurturer, the one who had made a home out of their mansion, who had made their children feel safe. And now she was trying to make it work, not just for her own sake, but for their daughters. The girls were growing up, their lives were changing, and Kyle understood that they needed their stability, no matter how fractured everything else seemed. As the movie played in the background, the room remained quiet, save for the soft murmur of voices, the occasional chuckle, and the comforting click of the television remote. Kyle caught a glimpse of Mauricio's face, his eyes closed, seemingly lost in the comfort of the moment. Jake was beside him, his arm casually resting on the back of the couch. The picture they made was one of peace, of normalcy. And for a fleeting moment, Kyle allowed herself to indulge in the thought that perhaps things would be okay, that they could all navigate this new chapter together. Later that night, after the movie had ended, Kyle found herself sitting on the porch, her fingers tracing the rim of a glass of wine. The cool night air felt like a balm on her worn soul. Mauricio stepped out after her, his presence a quiet reassurance that despite everything, they still shared this space, this life. "Crazy, huh?" he said, his voice gentle as he took a seat beside her. "Yeah," Kyle replied, her eyes fixed on the horizon. "But I think we're making it work." Mauricio let out a sigh, his hand resting on his knee. "I never thought we'd be here, Kyle. But here we are," she finished for him, offering him a small, understanding smile. "I never meant for it to hurt like this," he said quietly, his gaze focused on the stars above them. "I know I've made mistakes, but I don't want to lose us. I want to keep trying, keep moving forward." Kyle nodded slowly, her heart aching but filled with a glimmer of hope. "I want that too," she whispered, more to herself than to him. In that moment, it felt as though everything was possible again. They weren't just two people navigating the aftermath of a marriage. They were a family, and that was something neither time nor circumstance could erase. The days that followed weren't always easy. The questions and the tension never truly went away. Co-parenting, as Kyle had admitted, was hard. And yet, there was a quiet understanding between her and Mauricio that their love for their children would always come first. They were learning every day to find new ways of being in each other's lives without the weight of old expectations. Alexia had been the first to notice the shift. She had posted that TikTok video, the one that showed her mother, her father, and her sisters coming together for a simple movie night. In the caption, she'd written, "Mom, do you want to come over and watch a movie? Us say no more."